LIB presents Kisses of Tragedy, a collaboration of love stories by Emma Yadani. Copyright here 2021. Published by Life is Beautiful Printing Corporation. I loved him when he had nothing. Narrated by certified voice artist Lenny Ilaw. Walking along the sidewalk with only the soft sounds of our footsteps murmuring, the bone-chilling whiff of the air touching my skin, and his palm warmly intertwined with my right hand, was already enough to make my heart flutter in contentment. Honestly speaking, walking has always been too tiring for me. I never appreciated it. Not until Sean and I became officially together. Walking and talking with him every day from school all the way to our home became our everyday routine. And I really found it sweet, thinking how he can make these kinds of inexpensive dates extra special. Well, how? Minutes later, we stopped in front of the street food stalls lined up on the side of the road. His coal black eyes were routed at the fish balls, barbecues, and kwek-kweks displayed in each stall. He gently squeezed my hand and shifted his gaze to me. "Love," he called. "Bilhan kita ng kwek-kwek, gusto mo?" My mouth instantly salivated at the thought. I may be the daughter of a well-known business tycoon, but I would never say no when it came to kwek-kwek. "Yes, please." He chuckled and pulled me by the arms, guiding me towards the stalls. The mouth-watering smoke coming from the grilling of barbecues filled my nostrils, and the loud chattering chants of the vendors echoed along the way. Afterwards, we stopped in front of a stall, where an old woman stood on the opposite side, busy placing the orange egg waffles inside a plastic cup. "Ale, pabili po ng 3 baso ng kwek-kwek. Pakisupot po." He spoke nonchalantly, as if he was really used to buying these kinds of street food, which he really was. He had told me before, most of the time, kwek-kweks or barbecues were what compromised their everyday meals. I found it weird at first, but when he encouraged me to try them, I realized that he was right. It tasted more delicious and more satisfying when you eat street food with rice. "Lavo." He handed me a plastic cup containing 4 round kwek-kweks. I took it and beamed. "Thank you, love." He gave me an awkward smile in return. Sorry kung laging hanggang street food lang ang date natin." He sounded so ashamed, which he should not have been. I nudged him on the arm. "Uy, okay lang no. You don't really have to treat me to something expensive just to impress me. Because this," I lifted my cup, "can already make my heart flutter." "Meaning, you're worth more than any money, love." I saw his lips curve into a smile. I genuinely understood Sean's situation. When his father passed away 3 years ago, he started helping his mother to support their family, since he was the eldest among 5 siblings. I knew how gigantic his responsibility was, and I was not here to be another burden. Understanding and loving him was what he needed. It was our 2nd anniversary, so we decided to have a date in a mall. As we were strolling around the shop's women's section, my eyes instantly sparkled at the hundreds of dazzling dresses all over the place. "Wow!" I exclaimed in awe. "Ang gaganda ng mga damit, love." Gusto mo ba?" I felt his arm snake around my shoulders as he whispered, "Pili ka ng damit, love. Treat ko." Without any second thought, I began scanning every dress hanging on the wall. My eyes were glued to the attractive dresses, but it didn't escape my attention when I saw him open his wallet containing only 50 pesos. My heart slowly throbbed. Oh, my man. Before he could even glance back at me, I immediately shifted my gaze and pulled out the best dress I picked. Ito gusto ko, love. I showed him a simple white dress with an above-the-knee hemline. Do you think bagay sa akin to? Bagay na bagay. He corrected me, causing me to giggle. Pero magkano ba yan, love? I didn't answer. Instead, I held his hand and pulled him towards the counter and let the sales lady punch the dress on a cash register and put it inside a paper bag. 1,090 pesos, ma'am, sir. I felt Sean's body freeze, but before he could even bring out his wallet, I stopped him and smiled. Sino nagsabing ikaw magbabayad, love? Ako magsusuot ito, kaya ako magbabayad, no? But it's our second anniversary. So, it doesn't matter. Next time mo na lang ako bilhan, pero this time, pera ko muna, okay? He could no longer complain when I already gave the sales lady my 2,000 peso cash. As soon as he walked out of the shop, I felt his soft lips brush my cheeks, and my face heated up in surprise. I love you, he whispered, breathing out his warm mint-scented air against my neck. Babawi talaga ako sa susunod, love. It's a promise. I giggled. I love you too. I may not be the girl who will date my man even if he had 50 pesos only, but I will be that girl who will let him keep his 50 pesos and pay for her own. Being a burden to him was the last thing I would do. Thank you for staying with me, even if I have almost nothing, love. Sean said, staring up at me lovingly with his head resting on my lap. Thank you for understanding me since the day we became together. My heart thumped as I felt a rumbling of butterflies inside my stomach. I gently ran my fingers through his hair and played with the strands. No need to thank me, love. I mattered. Walang-wala pa to sa binibigay mong saya sa akin, no? His facial expression softened, as if he was touched by what I said. Then, Chris. He cupped my face and made our eyes lock with each other as he gently caressed my cheek. Sa lahat ng babaeng nakilala ko, ikaw lang ang natili sa akin kahit walang-wala na ako. Hindi ko alam kung anong ginagawa ko para mapasakin ka pero nagpapasalamat ako. Ikaw ang pahinga ko sa mundong to, love. Sa'yo ko naramdaman na hindi ako nag-iisa dahil sa bandang huli. Mayroon pa rin akong ikaw. I bit my lower lip. Sa lahat ng sinabi niya, tanging mahal kita lang ang isinagot ko. Funny how he could take my breath away with his words. This feeling was too indescribable, and God knows I didn't want it to end. Someday, love, he began, we're gonna make our dream wedding come true. We will invite all of our exes and let them witness our wedding vows and I-dos. And also, I want to be thankful to them because if they didn't break our hearts, it would never lead us to each other. Let's do that. I brushed my fingers through his hair and genuinely smiled. Someday, love. For richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until death do you part. I do, Father. I now pronounce you husband and wife. The loud round of applause filled every corner of the church, pulling me back from the strands of our memories years ago. That was the only moment when I shifted my gaze back at the altar, giving me a nostalgic pain in my chest. Sean was really a man of one word, because if he wasn't, I wouldn't be here, clapping my hands for the both of them. Masaya ako para sa kanya. Tinupad niya ang kanyang pangako. Kahit hindi niya mismo tinupad iyon na kasama ko. Seeing him successful, healthy, and in bliss with his newly wedded wife was like a signal for me to finally move on. To finally accept the fact that my purpose in his life had already ended years ago. Maybe this was really bound to happen. Maybe my only role in his life was to love him when he had nothing, That was why when he already had everything, he left me.